The Osage Tribe, also known as the Osage Nation, is a Native American people with a rich history and culture. They are originally from the Ohio Valley but eventually migrated westward to present-day Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, and Oklahoma. The Osage Tribe has a unique cultural heritage characterized by their art, music, dances, and religious practices. They are known for their intricate beadwork, traditional clothing, and dances such as the Inlanshka war dance and the Pahuska dance. Their traditional religion involves a belief in a spiritual world and various ceremonies to connect with it. The Osage people have their own indigenous language, known as Osage, which is a member of the Siouan language family. Efforts are being made to revitalize and preserve the Osage language, as it is considered endangered. The Osage Tribe has a significant history that includes interactions with European settlers, colonial powers, and the United States government. They were a powerful and respected tribe in the region, often referred to as the Little Osages, due to their relatively smaller numbers compared to other tribes. One of the most notable aspects of Osage history is their ownership of oil-rich lands in Oklahoma. This made them among the wealthiest Native American tribes in terms of per capita income, but it also brought about complex issues and challenges, including exploitation and violence. Today, the Osage Tribe is based primarily in Osage County, Oklahoma. They have their own tribal government, with elected leaders and a constitution. The Osage Nation is engaged in various cultural preservation efforts, economic development projects, and initiatives to address the ongoing needs of their community. The Osage Tribe holds a unique place in American history and is recognized for its contributions to Native American culture, arts, and history. Like other Native American tribes, the Osage Nation maintains a level of sovereignty, allowing them to govern themselves and make decisions related to their internal affairs, cultural practices, and land use. The Osage Tribe's history is both a testament to their resilience and a reminder of the challenges that many Native American communities have faced throughout history. They continue to maintain and celebrate their cultural heritage while striving for a better future for their people. The emergence of oil has profoundly transformed the financial outlook for numerous individuals across the years. Those involved in exploration, drilling, and oil management rejoice in exultation as torrents of oil surge forth from beneath the Earth's surface. In the latter part of the 19th century, an unforeseen windfall befell the Osage Nation, as an extensive reserve of oil and minerals was uncovered within their designated lands. Resourceful oil entrepreneurs secured drilling rights through the Bureau of Indian Affairs, BIA, under the condition that the Osage Nation would receive a 10% share of all sales proceeds. By the year 1906, the Osage Nation had orchestrated another agreement with both oil corporations and the federal government, enabling them to retain ownership over mineral and oil reserves within their reservation. As a result, they became some of the wealthiest individuals in North America, amassing annual earnings ranging from around $10 to $30 million. Nevertheless, this abundance of black gold metamorphosed into a curse rather than a blessing for the reservation, as a series of enigmatic deaths began to occur in a relatively brief span of time. A contributing catalyst behind the spate of murders and acts of terror directed at the Osage community stemmed from the enforcement of the federal guardianship system. On March 3, 1921, Congress enacted a law mandating that the Osage people demonstrate their financial competence in order to manage their funds responsibly. Failure to meet this requirement would result in the appointment of a guardian until they reached a legal age. This regulation promptly provided an avenue for deceitful schemers, unethical entrepreneurs, and corrupt legal professionals and financiers to divert proceeds from annual royalties. Numerous Osage individuals fell victim to deceit, losing their personal entitlements unknowingly due to an incomplete understanding of the true worth of their arrangements. Notably, some non-native individuals married into affluent Osage families, exploiting their marital status to assert legal prerogatives and thereby attain guardianship. However, a far more ominous force lurked in the shadows, eclipsing the dubious con artists and dishonest lawyers. This darkness emerged from the inherent mechanics of the appointed guardianship system. In instances where the ward passed away prior to attaining legal financial competency, the guardian could seek to inherit the ward's estate through petition. As the 1920s unfolded, lifeless bodies began appearing across the Oklahoma prairie. Though investigators and physicians often attributed these deaths to suicide or alcohol-related poisoning, the notion of launching murder inquiries never crossed their minds. In the year 1925, the Osage Nation submitted a formal request to the FBI, urging them to delve into the series of crimes and unravel the intricate web of conspiracy shrouding the events. J. Edgar Hoover, the newly appointed director of the Bureau of Investigation, displayed fervent interest in the case and entrusted the mission to Tom White, a seasoned law enforcement officer hailing from Texas. Accompanied by a team of skilled private investigators and police detectives, White embarked on an operation of infiltration. He instructed his team to assume new identities and immerse themselves in local professions. This strategic maneuver aimed to establish rapport with the community and extract any leads pertaining to the identity of those accountable for the Osage fatalities. Throughout their investigation, White and his team encountered a recurring name, William Hale. This local figure held dual roles as a rancher and a businessman, wielding considerable influence within the Osage Hills region. Hale's web of political connections, business endeavors, and personal wealth granted him power, albeit coupled with a dangerous disposition for those who crossed his path. An instance involving the acquisition of Henry Roan's headrights, an affluent native individual, showcased Hale's manipulative nature. To facilitate this acquisition, Hale forged a $25,000 life insurance policy, ostensibly to cover loans he had extended to Roan over time. Tragedy struck on February 6, 1923, as Henry Roan was discovered deceased. While no formal inquiry took place at that juncture, Tom White and his dedicated team unearthed the fraudulent insurance policy. This pivotal discovery served as the foundation for the subsequent arrest of William Hale and his co-conspirators. Because the crime transpired on a reservation, it carried federal implications, leading to indictments. After enduring nearly 7 years of constant trepidation, the Osage Tribe found some measure of justice on January 9, 1926, when federal charges were brought against William Hale and his accomplice, John Ramsey, for the murder of Henry Roan. The ensuing trial unveiled a labyrinthine conspiracy interwoven with manipulation, deception, and extortion tactics, designed to coerce both criminals and even family members into perpetrating the wave of violence against the Osage community. White's team heavily relied upon confessions extracted from individuals who asserted that Hale had issued directives to eliminate specific targets and eliminate any trace of their actions. Among those implicated was Ernest Burkhart, the nephew of William Hale, who was married to Molly Burkhart, an Osage woman of substantial affluence. Initially, Ernest had entered a plea of not guilty. The shadow of the murder spree fell particularly close to Molly, as her sister, Anna, became an early casualty, igniting Molly's quest for some semblance of justice over the ensuing years. A remarkable twist transpired 2 months into the trial when Ernest took an astounding step. He revoked his previous plea of not guilty and replaced it with a plea of guilty. In this astonishing turn, he confessed to his role in his uncle William Hale's grand scheme of conspiracy. William Hale, colloquially known as the King of the Osage Hills, was subsequently found guilty of orchestrating the conspiracy to commit murder. His conviction led to his confinement in Leavenworth Prison. Ironically, the very agent who spearheaded the FBI's efforts in the Osage murder investigation, Tom White, was appointed as the new warden of Leavenworth Prison when Hale was incarcerated there to serve his sentence. Tragically, the Osage Reservation witnessed the loss of nearly 60 lives due to these events, with some of these cases still remaining unsolved. Over time, both Hale and Ramsey, alongside the other co-conspirators, have passed away. Yet, the scars of this tragedy endure in the northern reaches of Oklahoma. The remnants of these memories persist in the present day, as families continue to grapple with the enduring trauma of their lost kin, forever denied the solace of justice. The narrative underscores the duality of sudden wealth, a source of prosperity and improved quality of life, but also an enabler of the darker aspects of human avarice and malevolence.